On my 58th birthday this year, SJ Thomason of ChristianApologetics.com asked the question, "Is atheism a religion?" on her blog, and then attempted to provide reasons why it is so. Now, I have got to say that I am starting to love SJ, as she is the gift that just keeps on giving. Anyways, let's take a look at what she has to say and go through it, shall we? But first, I would like to give a big shout out and a thank you to Mrs. Snarky for reading aloud SJ's blog. If you don't know who Mrs. Snarky is, she is the better half. Some would say, indeed, that she is the much better half of the Godless Iowan, and she has her own channel. I highly recommend you subscribe to her right away. I will be including a link to it in the description.
Is atheism a religion? This question seems to be of interest to atheists, as evidenced in an unscientific Twitter poll I recently ran that generated about 10,000 impressions and 1,500 engagements. 79% of respondents indicated that atheism is not a religion. 10% indicated that atheism is a religion. 5% indicated that they did not know or care whether atheism is a religion, and 6% indicated that the poll made them mad. The comments that filled my notifications about the poll highlighted the importance of identifying the correct definition of a religion. Accordingly, I will present several definitions of religion to determine whether atheism should be considered a religion. I will further present reasons why atheists should want to be considered a religion.
Internet polls in general, and Twitter polls in particular, are, as you yourself noted, far from being scientific or even accurate. Having taken and passed both statistics and quantitative analysis while in college, I know how easy it is to game or skew such polls, which is why I always take them with a very large grain of salt. That being said, having damn near 80% of those answering your poll saying that atheism is not a religion is truly astounding. And yet, given those results, not only will you still try to prove that atheism is a religion, but that it is in the atheist's best interest to be considered one. I do have to ask, why is it so important to theists such as yourself to define atheism as a religion? What do you feel you will gain from pushing this point?
Merriam-Webster defines religion in 4 ways. 1. The state of a religious. The service and worship of God or the supernatural. The commitment or devotion to religious faith or observance. 2. A personal set or institutionalized system of religious beliefs and practices. 3. Scrupulous conformity. And 4. A cause, principle, or system of beliefs held with ardor and faith. If the first definition is endorsed, atheism would not be a religion. If the second, third, or fourth definitions are endorsed, and if the supernatural requirement is omitted, atheism would be considered a religion. The third definition of scrupulous conformity applies to atheists who conform to the notion that there is no God or higher power.
Well, I am impressed. You freely admit that by the first and most prominent definition, atheism is not a religion. Had you stopped there, then this would have been a very short video. Luckily for me, you didn't, as you more than doubled down and claimed that atheism is a religion according to the next 3 definitions. First, let's take a close look at the second definition, which reads, a personal set or institutionalized systems of religious beliefs and practices. The operative words here are religious beliefs and practices. And as you yourself acknowledged, atheism is not a religion under the first definition. Therefore, it holds no religious beliefs or practices. Indeed, the very definition of atheism in the Merriam-Webster dictionary is a lack of belief or a strong disbelief in the existence of a god or any gods, and B, a philosophical or religious position characterized by the disbelief in the existence of a god or any gods. Now, please do not confuse the term religious position with the term religious. A religious position simply means where you stand on any given religion, and atheists reject all forms of religion and thus have no religion. If I were to be asked what my stand on religion was, I would answer I have no religion and reject the entire concept. As atheists have none of the practices, rites, or ceremonies, nor the organized structure that most religions have, they cannot be considered either religious or belonging to a religion under the second definition. So again, you failed there, SJ. As for definition 3, scrupulous conformity. That is total and utter bullshit, and you know it. The only unifying thing that atheists share is a rejection of all gods and religions, be they Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Wicca, or whatever else is out there. Apart from that one thing, atheists can and do differ on any number of subjects. Some atheists are vocal supporters of the LGBT rights movement, and others really don't care either way, and some could well be against them. Other atheists can be members of the Black Lives Matter movement, and others can be found marching in white nationalist parades. A few atheists are on the far left of the political spectrum, and a few are on the far right, with the majority of the rest being scattered somewhere between the two extremes. The only thing that atheists have in common is that they reject all gods and religions. That's it. So again, you have failed to prove your point. As for the fourth definition, you had to remove a key word, supernatural, in order to make it work. This is very dishonest of you, SJ. I am very disappointed with you. Having a heartfelt belief does not make something into a religious faith. I personally believe that Ford is the best car manufacturer in North America, but I would take any European or Japanese car over any Ford any day of the week because I believe they are much better. I also believe that Triumph makes the best bikes in the world and would cheerfully punch up any Harley rider who dares disagree with me. However, these beliefs, while heartfelt, have no supernatural strings attached to them. Therefore, they are simply personal and not religious. So SJ, you have failed, and failed miserably once again like so many before you, to make the case that atheism is a religion.
The United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, defines religion broadly, Merriam-Webster's fourth definition, as ultimate ideas about life, purpose, and death. Atheists, including those in Buddhist or Jain sects, or sects with similar beliefs, place a premium on this life and do not believe in the next or a higher godly purpose, so they live their lives accordingly. Their beliefs about life, purpose, and death therefore differ from theist beliefs.
Here is the mission statement of the EEOC. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, is responsible for enforcing federal laws that make it illegal to discriminate a job applicant or any employee because of the person's race, color, religion, sex, and that includes pregnancy, gender identity, or sexual orientation, national origin, and age, 40 years or older, disability, or genetic information. It is also illegal to discriminate against a person because the person complained about discrimination, filed a charge of discrimination, or participated in an employment discrimination investigation or lawsuit. Most employers with at least 15 employees are covered by EEOC laws, 20 employees in age discrimination cases. Most labor unions and employment agencies are also covered. The laws apply to all types of work situations, including hiring, firing, promotions, harassment, training, wages, and benefits. And Title VII defines religion very broadly. It includes traditional organized religions such as Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. It also includes religious beliefs that are new, uncommon, and not part of a formal church or sect, or only held by a small number of people. Nowhere in the Title VII definition on the EEOC website does it mention anything about, quote, ultimate idea of life, purpose, and death, unquote. And since we have shown that atheism is not a religion under any of the four definitions you've supplied, then it can be argued that Title VII does not apply to atheists, as atheists have no religious beliefs to be protected. However, it would still be illegal for a theist to discriminate against an atheist solely because of their lack of belief, as it would be as if a Christian discriminated against a Jew, as noted in the EEOC's mission statement. If a theist were to discriminate against an atheist due to the atheist's lack of religion, and it can be demonstrated that religious belief has no bearing on the actual duties of the job, then the theist would be guilty of violating the atheist's First Amendment rights, and thus could be sued for civil damages, along with being brought up on criminal charges.
Because of the EEOC's broad definition, the EEOC includes atheism among the protected religious groups under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This act prohibits discrimination in employment against workers or job seekers due to their sincerely held beliefs. Employers cannot make employment decisions that adversely impact people due to their religious beliefs unless the religious beliefs are considered bona fide occupational qualifications. For example, a Baptist church may require a Baptist pastor as a bona fide occupational qualification.
Again, atheists have no religion. Therefore, it could be argued that Title VII does not apply to them. However, the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution does supply atheists with the same protection as Title VII does to theists of all stripes.
Accordingly, it is to the atheist's benefit to be defined broadly as a religion. So why do atheists resist being defined as a religion? Firstly, they may resist due to their conception that religion follows Merriam-Webster's first definition and includes the worship of God or the supernatural.
There is no benefit to be gained for atheists or atheism to be defined as a religion. The reason why we fight tooth and nail not to be defined as a religion is because it goes against the very core belief of atheism, that we hold no religious beliefs nor believe in any god or gods, including your Christian God. It is the theists that are trying to define atheism as a religion, though for the life of me I cannot see why.
Secondly, they may resist because if atheism is defined as a religion or system of beliefs instead of a quote-unquote lack of belief in God, they can't claim that theists have the burden of proof to provide evidence for the belief in God. In my opinion, it is the second reason that drives many atheists to reject the assertion that atheism is a religion, even though they may reap legal protections, tax benefits, and stronger rights when defined as a religion. In other words, I would advise my atheist friends to consider themselves part of a religion.
I see now. That whole pesky burden of proof thing. You want it to go away so you don't have to think about it and just continue on blindly believing in a bunch of plagiarized fables created by an unwatched band of illiterate and ignorant Bronze Age goat herders. Not gonna happen. As the legendary Carl Sagan noted, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And it was your lot that made the claim. So it's up to you to provide the evidence. And no, your Bible is not proof, but rather it is part of the claim. Until you theists can supply empirical, testable, measurable, and falsifiable proof, then I'm afraid Christopher Hitchens' razor, that which can be asserted without evidence, can be dismissed without evidence, will be ruthlessly applied to your claims. As for your worries about our rights, legal or otherwise, I am sure that they are well protected without having to resort to claiming to be yet another in a long line of religious scams. Although I do have to admit the potential fiscal rewards are tempting. But unlike the theist, I am not ready to sell my self-esteem for 30 pieces of silver.
Before I close, let me note that it is curious that some atheists care more about the burden of proof than their legal rights. Or maybe not. I also care more about God's justice than ours. Thank you for your time.
Our legal rights are just fine, SJ, and the burden of proof is still upon you, no matter how hard you try to wiggle out from underneath it. And when you say you care more about God's justice than ours, does that mean you feel you have a God-given right to pick and choose which of the laws that we have you will follow, and that you can impose your own, or rather God's law, onto those of us that do not accept him nor believe in him? If so, then you are no different from either the Taliban or the ISIS, which, to be honest, would not surprise me in the least. However, you set out to prove that atheism is a religion, and like so many before you, you fell flat on your face, just as they have done in the past. This is the third video I have made now addressing your various claims, SJ, and I have to admit I am getting a bit embarrassed. You are certainly proving yourself to be rather low-hanging fruit. I strongly suggest that you think about getting out of the apologetics game. You seem to be ill-suited for it, especially if the likes of me can easily pick you apart. Indeed, you almost make the Ken Hams, Ray Comforts, and Hovens look positively intelligent, and they are far from that. Anyways, that's it for now, my friends, and again, I would like to give a big thank you to Mrs. Snarky for reading out SJ's blog postings. And please visit her channel and subscribe. You will find the link here in the description. Until next time, have a good day, and don't forget to rate, comment, share, and subscribe. Till later.